Hello, everybody. Welcome. Hi, Kandi.
Hi, Terry. Thanks for
Oh,
having me today.
yeah, I'm so glad you're here. So, hi, Sharon. Hi, Annie. I think everybody knows Kandi Mullen from chat, and also she's a Reiki healer, Reiki master. Does a lot of work and um, an amazing intuitive. So we've been in a few intuitive groups together, meditation groups, and it's really been a joy. She's very, very gifted. So, welcome to the channel. And Tyler welcomes you as well. Hey, Teresa Ford, how are you? So, I realized about 15 minutes ago that we were going on 9/9 at 9 Central. So, lots of beautiful, magical energy here today. And Tyler's really digging it. So, anyway, um, and right, woof woof, Tyler, Teresa. I know it. Yeah, he's just really into the energy, I guess. But he has been a real protector lately. And I don't know about you. Do you have like energy coming in at night, like around 3 and 4 in the morning? Are you getting any like wake up calls or
Yeah,
Tyler
I've
will
been,
start barking?
I know, I've been, 3 o'clock seems to be it's anywhere between 3 and 4, but since I've been back, it's been 3. And while I was traveling, it's so interesting how your body clock works. Even I would awaken at 3 throughout, and that was for 3 weeks. Something significant behind. And I know Sharon Donnelly knows 369. Powerful numbers. But yeah, I'm getting up at 3. Lots of energy coming in at that time.
Yeah, and I love it that the any astrologers here. Hi, Heather. Hi, Sharon. Um, any of the astrologers here know that all these planets in retrograde right now, and everything that's changing, and everything that we're letting go of, and that 9 is such a season of completion and infinite potentiality, but also releasing to get there. So it's like the perfect numbers on the perfect astrological time of the year too. Hi, Lori. Good to see you. Anyway, so you just returned from a beautiful trip.
Yeah, let me just say one thing. And the equinox is always in the month of, usually in September. It's always in September. And I think this year it falls on the 29th, which reduces to 11, but you still have the number 9 in there. And again, completions, the end of cycles. But I did notice, I feel like moving into, and maybe because I'm a Libra, moving into this month, all of a sudden it just felt like this heaviness was lifted. And any astrologers out there, I think either Venus went direct, it had been retrograde for a while. And so for me, it was a real sigh of relief. I don't know how you all are, everyone else is doing, but yes, Sharon, liver energy. I'm
Yeah,
doing my morning cleanse with my lemon water that I've been doing for the last 22 years or 23 years.
I can't always do the lemon water. It's
No.
that citrus, the acidity. Yeah, it's not good. I've got a lot of pitta in my body, so I need the cucumber juice. So
Oh,
your cat
that's
Ziva Heather is waking you up at 3 and 4, and yeah, and I love that name. So Z's are really important in my spiritual path. I don't know why, but they just are. Um, and Heather says September 23rd is
Oh, it's
fall equinox.
23rd this year.
Wow. Okay. Good to
I don't know
know.
where 29 came in.
Yeah.
23. Hmm.
So pitta is obviously something you eat hummus with, but also it's a dosha. And in Ayurveda, you have what are the three doshas, right? Pitta, um, vat, vatu. Now I can't remember all of a sudden. Vata, pitta, vata, and I'll think of the other one by midnight. But it's it's like your body has a lot of one of those doshas, it'd be like an element too, but it's a spiritual element. So Pitta is very Leo, and I've got a lot of Leo and fire. So basically, that's what that is. And the 29th is the full moon.
Okay, that was probably what I was getting. Thank you, Indigo Jaguar, Intuitive Arts. I love that. Indigo Jaguar. I love jaguars.
Right? Hey, Rose Blue. Oh, you had sleep problems last night? Yeah, I feel the same. I've been sleeping really soundly, but I continuously wake up at 3 and then at 4, and then if I go into a meditation, I can get a little bit of sleep. Pitta Vata, and I will think of it, and I'll probably be just saying
it's a V, isn't it? Begins with a V.
Pitta Vata, and it might be another V or an A. I can't remember. Good morning, Beth. Good to see you. And Sonia's here, and Lauren. So anyway, so let's talk about your trip, because you just got back from a beautiful trip.
Yeah, I was just under 3 weeks in France, traveling throughout France. And it was an amazing trip. I've been to Paris a couple of times before, but this time I had the opportunity to explore a couple of other areas throughout the Provences and down to the French Riviera. And so a lot of city, countryside, beach, old town, medieval towns. It was quite the diverse landscape, but a lot of fun. But traveling didn't come without its challenges this time. I don't know. I've had more challenges than I've had in the last 40 years of traveling this particular year. But so my connecting flight from Tampa to Atlanta, we were delayed 3 hours. And they assured me I'd make my connection because all flights were going to be delayed out of Atlanta. Well, nope, that wasn't the case. Missed that one, my flight, and then even the flight that left after that. So one of the things that was really good, though, that, as you know, I practice regularly, my Reiki practice, is just staying calm, because I missed an entire day in Paris. I know, boohoo me. But missed an entire day. And the person I was meeting, who was a little freaked out about it, she was surprised at how calm I was when I arrived. But there's nothing I could do. I missed a day. I just had to wait around for the next flight. And that's all I could do. Sat in the airport for 48 hours, which I've never had to do before. But I guess there's a first for everything. But so it's really important. It was really helpful having that mishap. And then I had another mishap on the return. And now this was really interesting. My gate on my boarding pass through the Delta app was telling me I was leaving out a gate B38. I had a connection through JFK to Tampa. And so as in JFK, it was a very long walk. I honestly think it was about a mile walk to B38. And only to show up and it said that flight was going to Prague. And I was completely confused because I'm pretty tired, right? This is my return trip. And then I realized my boarding pass says that a flight is on September 1st, the following day. And so anyway, I found somebody to help me out. They said, no, you're actually on tonight's flight. But the bad news is it's at the other side of the terminal and it's pretty far from here. And she goes, I'll call the gate and let them know you're coming. Well, I'm in wedge heels and a dress. I have a backpack on my back and it's pretty heavy. And I had to run because I couldn't find one of those little Rover white cars.
Oh, yeah.
So the next couple of days were pretty miserable. But again, I stayed calm and got through it. I made it to the gate, made the flight, and got home. So it's just really important, as I was sharing with Terry, that these mishaps happen, but we have a way to calm ourselves and to just, that it is what it is, and just stay grounded and centered and balanced, and you'll get through it.
Well, you do self-Reiki every day, don't you?
Yeah, I just sat on the plane doing self-Reiki. It's easy because no one knows what you're doing. It's that or meditation, either one. And I think with meditation, you tend to, some people have a harder time, especially on a plane, because there's so much activity, people boarding. But I can just sit easily and place my hands for a few minutes and not worry about. And that kind of actually just having my hands placed somewhere kind of helps me focus in a different area.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that. And I've heard that again and again from so many meditation teachers that, you know, the plane and the airport are the best places for meditation because you can just release everything around you and go into that. But good for you. Good for you. But the pictures look beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, it
Yeah.
was pretty spectacular. Um, Delicious food. And it's really interesting because now that I've returned, it's amazing the preservatives and everything in our food. And I try to eat pretty clean, but even with our standards here in the US, it's unlike European standards. I mean, they've banned, I don't know, what is it, more than 140 chemicals and different preservatives and
Colors.
GMOs and everything like
Yeah.
that I really have had a little bit of a difficult time with not feeling, kind of something going on. And, but, made the transition as soon as I arrived in Paris, was able to eat, whatever without feeling anything. I mean, it felt good
Yeah.
and healthy. And, I I don't eat a lot of sugar, so I'm not a big sweet eater. But that also helped traveling, keeping calm and running to the trains. And we had a lot of trains and buses or not a lot of buses, but a couple. So it really helps, but it's really fascinating the difference, that I noticed when I got back here going, oh, I feel a little kind of wonky after eating that or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, okay. So, Jezri, hi,
Yes,
everybody.
Desiree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Right? Europe does know what they're doing, right? Yeah, yeah, when I go visit my brother, almost every year, during the pandemic, I didn't, but, he's in England and just even going in and getting frozen foods, like, they have beautiful places that have these beautiful frozen, vegetarian lasagnas, vegetarian this, vegetarian that. No preservatives, they're just in the freezer, and the fresh produce is amazing. Yeah, and I'm a big Aldi shopper, not to I mean, entertainment only, I'm not, you know, doing anything about them, but they have a great organic section, and when they have things that come in that are made in France or made in,
Germany.
Austria or Germany, yeah, that's the stuff I'm buying.
It's funny you mentioned that because there is an olive oil I love there, and I specifically go for that. And my mother was a fan of shopping there, and I, but I had actually made a decision. It's funny that you even bring this up, that I'm going to start shopping there more because you're
Yeah,
right. Even around the holidays, you see they bring in all these chocolates and little gift chocolate boxes and nuts and stuff like that from Belgium and Germany and France. And they're so much cleaner. And they're nice little gifts to give away.
they really are. Yeah, I get the chocolate bars, the big ones, dark chocolate from there. It's German chocolate, and they're incredible, and they don't have the preservatives, and just one little square will do me, because
Yeah,
it's so rich.
exactly.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I saw where Sharon Donnelly, your former best friend, was the FDA's head of that specific area. Yeah, so I guess you have a
Oh,
lot of more information and details around that, Sharon.
yeah, yeah. It's gotta be not pretty. I know, one of my girlfriends, her son is in logistics, and he said, "Don't eat, chicken from this place, don't eat that from that place," and things like that, and I'm like, "I don't wanna know, I don't wanna know, I don't wanna know, because I won't be doing it." I don't wanna know why, just tell me where. Um, Cheryl says, "Why wouldn't Europe know more about doing food-wise? Because they've existed for hundreds of years longer than we have." Amen, Cheryl, right? Yeah, they've been at it for a long time, and they do a nice job of, I mean, if you're eating in England, a lot of the food just comes from England, especially with Brexit. So, So, it's just an hour or 2 to get to any a coast. I mean, it's an island.
Mhm.
So you're getting the food right away, fresh. It's not like here and you're getting it from California or Mexico and, it's, been a week on a truck or whatever. So, yeah, right, Chesney? I'm getting hungry too. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, you bring up a good point. So living in Florida, and a lot of people will relocate to Florida thinking, oh, I'm going to start eating healthier and eating better, all these fresh fruits and vegetables. Well, there's a citrus disease here in Florida. So there are very
Oh,
few. Yeah. So the orange trees are almost nil anymore. And there's a short period of time where strawberries and I think blueberries we have local access to, but most of them come from Mexico and California. So most of the fruits and vegetables are imported in, unless you do one of those share. I forget what they call them. Like you can go
oh,
to the farm, you can go to the markets
yeah.
and go directly to the sources, the growers, or the shared, what are the shared co-ops? The co-ops?
Yeah, the co-ops, and then here, in my area in the Midwest, we can buy into a farmer, and they'll deliver whatever they get, and you get a box every week. And I've done it a couple of times. I don't do it as much anymore because 'cause I'll just go and get not everybody was eating everything, and one year it was just squash and potatoes, just because 'cause they'd had something happen at their farm, so, yeah.
Oh, Teresa Ford, I know. It's gotten ridiculous. And somebody, oh, Sharon, about to say this. I mean, it's unbelievable. I had a cousin in town from Virginia, and she was shopped. She was here for a month, and she was like, "I can't believe how expensive Publix is." And I said, "Really?" I really just guess hadn't paid attention. I said, "Well, where do you shop?" And she said, "Wegmans." And I said, and I love Wegmans, but we don't have Wegmans here. And she said, I said, "Isn't Wegmans kind of expensive?" She goes, "No, they have everything you need." And she said, "You could go to the organic or specialty section, and yeah, it's going to be a little more pricey." And I was just surprised. I started paying attention. I thought, wow, it really is different.
Yeah.
A lot more expensive than when I
Is it?
first moved here.
Yeah, yeah. When I lived in Florida, I was in Delray Beach, and there were at the time, the downtown was like, lots of little shops, like, we had a fishmonger, we had a fruit stand, we had, an Italian butcher way out west, and, you could get things at different places, and it was really nice. It was kind of a European thing, and, because at the time, it was kinda old money in Delray Beach. It was, like, quiet, and there were all different, um, um, economic, um, rates, not rates, but whatever. Anyway, and everybody was buying all their food together. I mean, it wasn't like, it was just the people that had the McMansions. It was the people that, had come in from Haiti and, immigrants, and it was not non-denominational. What do I wanna say? Full spectrum, I don't know. Anyway, but it was nice, and we don't really have that up here. We have a lot of big farmers markets, though, in the Midwest during this time of year, and then go find it, right, later on.
Yeah,
So,
that's true. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Um, Rosebud
Japanese
says,
bananas. Hmm.
yeah. I remember when grandma had 2 orange trees in the backyard and Japanese bananas. I was the only kid who ate kumquats. Oh, Rose, that's so cute. I have a pear tree in my front yard,
Oh,
and it is
wow.
amazing, and this year we had the best, harvest that we've had in a long, long time. So, yeah,
Wow. How
I
how
collected
long
them first.
are you
Thank you.
able how
What?
how long do you does it produce the fruit?
About a month, because I start pulling them after they get to a certain size and put them on my windowsill, and then they're a little bit more tart then, and then as they get bigger, they're a little sweeter, but I kinda like them when they're kinda I like the cross between when it tastes a little bit like an apple and a little bit like a pear. So yeah, pears are one of my favorites too, Jesri, and they're really really good. But um, Teresa Ford says she's in Texas for about 4 months caring for her dad. HEB was the best part of being there. So I'm not familiar with HEB.
I was just going to say I'm not familiar with it either, and I used to spend a lot of time in Dallas, so that's interesting. I'll have to look out for HEB. Teresa, is it only in the Southwest? Are they only located in the Southwest?
Yeah. Um, excuse me, goodness. I don't know. We're on a little bit of a delay. So, oh, it's only in Texas, Laura says. Yeah. Yeah. It's the pears are, I think they're supposed to be Bartlett pears, but since they're organic and, they just taste a little bit different than the ones that you get at the grocery store. So, oh, there's one in Frisco now, in McKinney. Nice. Oh, you have 2 plum trees. So we're all talking about food this morning. I love this.
I know. And
I'm trying
Rossi, I didn't even know they're even cutting the healthy citrus trees.
oh,
That's
that's
so
too
sad.
bad. That is so sad.
We do have a lot of mango trees. I have a mango tree out back here, but it's just starting out, so it's got a couple years before it's going to produce anything. It's pretty
Yeah.
big. I mean, it's pretty tall now, and a banana tree and a lemon tree, but no lemons ever come off of it.
Yeah. The neighborhood that I lived in wasn't far away from a mango orchard that had been turned into a subdivision. And so my neighbors had these huge mango trees in their backyard, and you'd hire people to come in and pick them all because they were just so big. There's no way you could get to all of them without pickers and everything. And
Wow.
it was a lot of mangoes, and they get pretty messy if you
Love
don't
them.
take care of them like that.
I had heard.
Yeah, but they were ancient. They were just been around for forever. But back then I was partying a little bit, and we would make mango daiquiris. So
Sounds
yeah,
yummy.
it was delicious. I'll tell you what. Yeah. Um, okay. Just replanted a white pin oak in memory of your dad that will produce acorns when it gets bigger. Oh, Jesri, they're such beautiful trees. I used to have, I think, 12 pin oaks at my old
Wow.
house. Yeah, this house, I've just got a huge old maple and then some other smaller trees. Um, and my tree's saying, "Don't call me just." And but it's trees are amazing, aren't they? They just they really help the energy of your property. Texas A&M sells the most amazing fruit combos from their agriculture college.
Wow.
Nice.
That's great to have that resource or access to that. That's good to
Yeah.
know, Rose Blue. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, thanks.
Sharon, do Reiki on that tree.
Right. Sharon Sipe is here. Love that.
Oh,
ReikiForWellbeing.com.
yeah. Thank
She's
you, Sharon.
yeah, yeah, right. So yeah, thanks for that. Yeah, Kandi is an amazing Reiki healer. So and sometimes you do group things that you invite people to, don't you?
I do.
That
Yeah.
I've
And
been
like
to and they're
we
really
talked about
nice.
the other day, maybe I'll do some on YouTube. I haven't decided yet.
Yeah, do a
But
Zoom
yeah,
and
through Zoom. Zoom, yeah. Zoom has worked
or
really
just
well.
on yeah, or just on that. So and she's also got your Instagram up here. Nice. Sharon
Instagram, and she's
Sipe,
got my PayPal. Thank you.
right?
Yeah, so Marlene is my given name if it confuses anybody. I got the name Kandi because my initials are M&M. And I decided to spell it K and an I instead of traditional Candy.
I love that.
Hmm. And I've
Oh,
never been really called Marlene unless, first day of school. And then they always ask, does anyone have a nickname they want to go by? And I'd be like, call me Candy.
yes, please. Yes, please. Sharon says, when I lived in Maryland, I planted a rose of Sharon tree in memory of my father.
Oh, that's
You
sweet.
know, I've heard that from for years from like that's a big practice in Ayurveda, and a lot of readers will tell you to do that to, plant a tree or a bush, a rose bush or something in memory of someone, or around also a situation that you're releasing, which is really good. But I love that Rose of Sharon for Sharon Donnelly. That's great. Um, oh, Teresa Ford, everywhere but YouTube. You're called Terry. Yeah, I'm only called Teresa when I'm in trouble. Teresa Ford. So, or legally, but yeah, yeah, Sharon Donnelly, right? Do some major Reiki there. Yeah. Hi, Jeff. Good to see you. So we're just chit chatting about organic food and trees and energy, but and then also the 9-9, which I think is so important today. And I hadn't really thought about it, 9-9, but that energy is so important. And September 9th is such an important number. So, I was listening to Pixie. I can't remember her last name. She's in Scotland, I think, or Ireland. Somebody here will know the name of her channel. She's incredible. And Pam Gregory talks about her a lot and her energy as it comes in, but she's a reader and she works a lot with the elementals, of course, being over there. But, and she's talking about what a pivotal day today is. And she was saying that today is a day that if you're on your path, you can accelerate, and that opportunity is here. So going into that energy and just kind of accepting it. And part of that's letting go of judgment and what we've been hanging on to, because 9-9 is a completion date. So, or completion number. So, and letting go as we move on. So it was pretty cool. Yeah. Right. Sharon Donnelly. Yeah. Sharon Donnelly knows numerology. So, and also that brings in prosperity and wealth. So, I know a lot of, if you're getting, like in feng shui and Asian numerology, a lot of times you want to be a 9 in your, what's it called? Your address. You want a 9. So,
I don't have that. What is my address now? Nope. I used to always have the number 8 for
yeah.
years. Everywhere I moved was 888.
Yeah. My, my address adds up to a 9. So, right now. That's
Rose Blue. Oh, sorry.
oh, no. No,
She's
I
looking for a healer to help her mom. Um, you can, if you can email me and I'll help. Just understanding where you're located and see if something doesn't come to me of who you might be able to reach out to or the type of healer.
and you also do Zoom.
Yeah, I
Um,
do. I mean, I can do distant work. And I don't want her to, I don't want you to feel like I'm marketing myself, but just in general, if there's somebody in your area, I can help you with that. If you wanted to talk or email me, I'm happy to help kind of generate some ideas or thoughts of healers, or we can have that discussion, whatever, too.
um,
My email, can I type in here?
yeah, I
Yeah, feel
think
free to
I
email
don't
me.
know.
Honestly, I don't know that I can.
Sharon had it up a minute ago. Let me see if I can find it
Um,
again.
Sharon, can you
There
put
it
my
is.
email in there? It's my last name, Mullen, Mullen. Oh, you know what? Hang on a second. This is live.
Yeah.
Let's just hold off
Okay.
on that. Do they have a way of getting in touch with you? Yeah, go through
Yeah.
Facebook. That'd be great.
Okay.
If
Cool.
you want Rose Blue, and I'll okay. So your mom's here. Okay. I'm in the Clearwater area, so I'm on the left coast, west coast, left coast, however you wanted to, or you call it right coast. But when I look at the map, I'm on the left.
Yeah.
Um, Just reach out if you want to. It's up to you.
Yeah, we can. And somebody said something about, aren't we always on our path? And yes, ma'am. And we are also, as far as spirit is concerned, exactly where we need to be. So there are very few times in our life that we're not. Like, there's no judgment. Like, you're always, there's no shame, there's no guilt when you get into higher self or spirit. It's always in the light and love, which is such a different energy than what we're raised with sometimes, right?
Yeah. Isn't that
So,
the truth?
yeah, Jesri says,
Okay.
Terry, would you have any advice for me that I can pass on to my friend who I believe is going through an awakening? She has agoraphobia, which is the fear of leaving her house, but she's hearing. Um, hmm. So I don't know if there's any more to that, Jesri, but yeah, we can look at that. So I think that I kind of had that for a while too. And I think a lot of us have that um, after the pandemic, right? And then you're kind of scared to get out. And once you do, and a lot of people I know are still scared to get out too much. But yeah, she hears electric buzzing, seeing and hearing spirits. She doesn't know how to make boundaries. Yeah, number uno is always bringing in your 33 trillion angels every morning. So when you start out your day, bringing in your angels, I know Kandi will talk about this too, but she likes to do self Reiki. But I do, I'll do my, just really quickly do my center my energy and do my chakras every morning, growing your heart space and bringing in your angels and your soul family. And we do that every morning in meditation too. And it makes such a difference in your protection.
Yeah. I'll center and open up my chakras, and I'll do other things too. I don't just do Reiki, but Reiki's just easy that I can do that anytime, anywhere. But it is balancing for me. So, and being a Libra, that word balance is so important. And being my month right now, number 9, that that's a Beatles song, right? Number 9, number 9, number 9. It is.
Is it?
It's
I don't
it's
know.
part of what I'm trying to think, which somebody probably remembers it. But anyway,
Can you
so
sing it?
I do what?
Can you sing it?
I can't think of the whole song.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Libra sun, who's Jezreel? My moon's in Libra too. So interesting. Yeah, I like to do things. I like to also just walk on the beach
Grounding.
for the negative ions and balancing.
Yeah.
I did some Reiki practice on the beach too a couple of days ago, just to kind of get back into this time zone, feel centered and grounded and really connected to Mother Earth.
Yeah. So as we're talking, we're both nodding and, and so that brings in the circadian rhythm. So sometimes when you'll see monks and other people when they're meditating or chanting, and they'll kind of be nodding and waving their bodies around and feeling that energy of the earth as you're grounding. But if she doesn't like to leave the house, if she has a tree close to her house that she can lean on or sit by, yeah, love grounding also, right, Susan? So Revolution 9, Teresa Ford says, that's the name of it. Is that the name of the song? Anyway, yeah.
It's yeah, yeah. I'm gonna start a revolution. I don't know if that's the
Oh,
name of it, but I know you're talking about. That's great. Thank you, Teresa.
yeah. Um, and
There was
oh,
another
go ahead.
question. Somebody had a question about their friend.
Was that Jesri?
Oh, was that it?
I think
And
so. I think that was Jesri. Yeah, yeah.
And also, if it's too overbearing and overpowering, it's stepping in. She has free will, stepping in and telling it to stop or slow down. And I mean being forceful, not just like, okay, stop. I'm kind of tired of this. When I feel something, I walk into a room and I don't care for the energy. I say, get out, get out now. You're not welcome here. I tend to be a little forceful.
Yeah. And then also when you get into the energy of that, it may be like an ancestor or it might be an ancestor of the land. So kind of feeling it out. If it doesn't feel right, if it feels right, just say, I need you to slow it down a little bit. If it doesn't feel friendly, there's a lot of things you can do. I know Annie's been talking a lot about spreading cornmeal around the perimeter of your home and salt around
Hmm.
the entrance. And then Reverend Saul, who is out of the hospital, I'm going over there this afternoon, um, talks about taking a Bhagavad Gita or a holy book, a Bible, whatever you had, and leaving it open in the room that she hears the most in, or you can leave it open all over the house. Um, yeah. Yeah. Say, "Get out," right, Susan? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can always tell it to leave. And, you know, unless it's for your higher purpose. Yeah. Yeah, and then just being cognizant of that. She's taking care of her mom who has Alzheimer's. Um, so I'm just kinda getting a little bit of a hit, Jesri, that it might even be her mom, uh, um, trying to converse with her too. So, you know, she might feel into that and try to feel if that is her mom because when people can't communicate, they're still communicating. My stepmom passed away from dementia, and man, when she left and before she left, she was right there for the longest time. Every time the phone would ring or the doorbell, before everything, I'd hear, Teresa, Teresa. And she'd be calling me before I'd get that ring. Oh, her mom is very psychic as well. Yeah, and she probably has a lot of family around her from the other side, Jasri. So I would imagine her mom has a pretty full room taking care of her. So from the other side. Yeah, yeah. I would just tell them all, chillax, open up those Bibles and those Bhagavad Gitas or a Quran, whatever you wanna open up and, maybe even a book of poetry by Rumi or something. Sonia says, "I'm having a time getting tired a lot. Finally went dancing last night after about a month. Now need to organize my place. Apartment 207, yeah, number 9. Off to I'm glad to see Reverend Solid's out of the hospital. I will. I'll say hi for everybody. Um, oh, me too, Sonia. Like, normally, if I go dancing, I will be on the dance floor all night, and lately, if I do go dancing, I am just kinda, um, getting up for 1 or 2 dances and then coming back, like, I'm really looking at the rhythm, and I'm really looking at things and, um, seeing things not judgmentally, but aware, maybe discrimination a little bit. Like, do I really want this? Does this really feel right? Or is this a time that I don't wanna be here? So, aw, Sharon, just also take care of herself as she cares for me. She's her
Sonia.
energy too.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. No, go ahead.
I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly. Is it Sonia or Sonja? Do you know, Terry?
I always call you Sonia,
Sonia. Okay.
Sonia, but
And
you
I
know.
see, I saw that you live on South Pasadena. Is that down here? You mean in St. Pete? Anyway, or is that an actual location? That's pretty cool. If you are close by, we should meet up if you're open to that. But I got something that I got a just kind of a hit that there's some energy around you, some people that are draining you, it feels like. I don't know if that makes sense to you, if there's somebody that, and I don't know that you're always around them, but I just feel like it's a draining energy that's affecting you a bit with being tired. And it's also, you're releasing something right now too. So I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah,
Oh, so
she's in
you're
Florida.
really close by.
That's
Okay.
great.
Well, if you go to my, if you want, if you can go to my Instagram or my, you go to my website, reiki4wellbeing.com. It's the number 4, Reiki4wellbeing. Send me a note. And if you want to meet up, that'd be fun.
And I'll post that in here too. Yeah. Yeah. And Jesri said something about, yeah, seeing and hearing things. It's a lot. And you guys know that this is the time that we're in to start looking, and your ego is going to come in and say and start judging things too, and that's just part of going into Libra, being more analytical and balancing things, but also it's this time of letting go, that 9 energy. We're in a place of completion and moving forward, so we need to let go of a lot of stuff. It is exhausting. Be very gentle with yourself. um Yeah, I'm taking Reverend Saul a dehumidifier today. So, oh, okay. Oh, thanks there.
Grandma's place with 2 blocks from Hillsboro. Wow, that's really close.
Oh,
Rose
wow.
blue.
That's great. Yeah. Yeah, I hope you guys can. Oh, okay. That's what I was looking for, Jesri. Just worried about her in the 20 years that we've been friends. I've never seen her like this before. We can read on that. Do you want to pull a few cards on her?
Yeah, I'm sitting here trying to
Jesri's
think.
friend?
I'm always sensing that she's not balancing. Something about balance. There needs to be more balance in what she's doing. She's kind of way up here and needs to come down a little. Okay.
I'm getting music. So yeah, she needs to be in harmony and feel the vibrations. So if you're way out here, then she does need to kind of ground. Also, she just needs to be aware of these vibrations and align them. So doing that self Reiki or your chakras every morning, that's huge. She can read about this. This is the study book. She can also leave those books open. They carry a lot of vibration with them. So it's a great thing to do. Um, and good that she's got you in her life, Jesri. That's amazing. So, and blessings. And that this reminds me of Annie Bear spreading that cornmeal and salt around the perimeter of her house. So making sure that she's got that, maybe a few stones around her. What is it? Malachite, and what is the black stone that I'm trying to think of also?
Well, either black tourmaline or obsidian obsidian.
Yeah. Obsidian and malachite and some rose quartz. Oh, she's trying to take care of herself, her adult brother, her mom, and pretty much on her own. Yep.
Yeah. So I got the Hanged Man. So she's really just stuck. She's doing everything for everybody else and really doesn't have a way to kind of drop in and center herself and plant her feet on the ground, because see how his feet are up in the air. And then it was real interesting because the next card was the Justice card, which to me is my Libra card, and it is about balance. This is balance. She's got to try to figure out a way, either find help. I mean, this is probably nothing you all haven't talked about already, and it's a very emotional time. I got the Cups card, but I did pull a couple of oracle cards from the Starseed Oracle. Big picture thinking, Pleiades energy, visionary, inspired ideas. So even if she just starts putting some thoughts down on paper and like creating a vision of a different, environment for herself, just to kind of give her an escape. It's almost like moving into like dreamland. And then I got deep cellular healing. She's got to take some time to really heal the emotional as well as the physical, because we know that any emotional trauma or issues that we have can often manifest into physical. So figuring out 20-30 minutes watching Lee Holden on YouTube and doing some Qigong moves or pressure points, or okay, Sharon Donnelly, Jinshin Jitsu. Some points. Throw out some points for us. Where are the pressure points?
Yeah. She needs, we get these soul contracts, right? And we're type A personalities on the other side. And then we come into the body and we're like, what was I thinking of? But, and this is something that is free will as well. So she's put all this into her urn or her bucket that she's carrying, and she needs to find a way to get rid of some of it. And sometimes we have to step back and let things go, like either let social services come in. I don't know what it feels like for her, but if she can let social services or somebody help her, because this is something that I'm seeing in a lot of my clients right now, is they're overwhelmed and they have to make a break. And so sometimes that means the end of relationships, or that means, and not that she would do that with her mom, but making changes, like just taking a couple of days off. Sometimes you just need that. So, yeah.
I know it's easier said than done.
It is. Right? You feel totally trapped when you're a caregiver. Never get to sleep. Unless he was in rehab, he would ring for me many times an hour a day. Zero help us. Oh, Teresa, I'm so sorry about that. I know my when my dad and my stepmom were ill, I was there almost every day, and we had around the clock caregivers for him. But if I wasn't there, I was worried about him. So even when you get a break, it's tough. It's a lot.
If she has access to a bath, just even taking an Epsom salt bath with some essential oils, soaking for 20 minutes, might sound like a luxury, but it'll help to release. Again, we're talking today on 9/9, releasing, letting go of the energy that doesn't serve us any longer, and moving. Sorry, I dropped some cards. Anyway, that would be really supportive. That's one of the things I had to do when I got back from my trip that next day. I was in so much pain from running with that backpack in my hips, my lower back.
Yeah.
And for 2 days, I was like, wow, so I soaked in an Epsom salt bath. Really helped.
Oh,
I could almost feel immediately just releasing, even just the emotional aspect of having to do that run in heels, no less. But
yeah. For physical energy, sit on her hands. Ooh, Sharon Donnelly, I love that. Yeah, unless you can pay, there is not much help for a lot of people. You're right.
Yeah, that's true.
We're not set up to take care of everybody as they come into this these changes.
You could look one of the things that and a friend was just not capable because she was caring for her father 24/7. Church groups. Oftentimes there's volunteers that are willing to help. There's where are some of the other places I called? Oh, I can't remember now. Sorry.
Catholic Charities has a lot of stuff. I mean, they do a lot of good, and hospice also. It's surprising how it's not end of life anymore. It's quality of life.
Yeah,
Palliative
you're right.
care.
Hospice can send people out too as well. There's organizations, if you look within your county, maybe set up with caregivers just to relieve the main caregiver for like an hour, a couple hours, a few times a week. I think well, every county would be different, but you could look at that, look at what the county might have available.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thumbs in
Oh,
opposite armpit and give yourself a hug.
I love that. I love that. Oh, some communities have visiting care, but they have rigid requirements, right? Yeah. And Florida Hospice does not send anyone out. Yeah.
Yeah, I was looking for somebody in Pennsylvania. Oh, that's interesting, Teresa, because my mom was in hospice, not in hospice care, at home hospice care, and she could call. This is before I moved to Florida, and she could call and ask for like a Reiki practitioner or a massage therapist or somebody to help her do some very light cleaning or help her with her checkbook or just somebody to sit with her to keep her company for an hour or so. So that's really interesting.
Hmm.
I wonder what part of Florida that is.
Yeah. Yeah. Susan says, I'm still caregiver for my mom with a 4-hour break occasionally. She has first stage Alzheimer's. Very difficult because she is uncooperative also. Oh, Susan, I'm sorry.
That's the other thing that we have to deal with.
Yeah. Yeah. My brother has early onset Alzheimer's, and it's tough. It's tough. Yeah, I think we're going to find a lot more people coming in with Alzheimer's. They're making headway on it, but I think it's going to be another 3 or 4 years before they have something specifically. Yeah, cancer and dementia. Yeah. Okay, Annie says, last night I made a spray of water, cedar, white sage, osha root, salt, and lavender. Yummy.
Yeah, that sounds just wonderful.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, yeah, someone with in-home healthcare. Yeah, because it is the caregivers that need the help, right? My dad was caregiver to my stepmom, kind of hiding her dementia for a long time, and it took its toll on him. Yeah. Teresa Ford says, when my mother-in-law was in hospice, they sent a nurse to talk to the caregiver's family for a few minutes twice. They rent her a bed, nothing else. Fort Lauderdale. Nah, Teresa, I'm sorry. Yeah. Sharon says she's uncooperative because of her confusion, but most important thing is not to take anything personally nor attempt to correct the reality. Right? Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or, make them feel silly because they just asked that question 5 times or whatever. Yeah. Yeah. It's tough. It's really tough. I'm going to go back over and spend some more time with my brother this winter, but it's a scary thing. Susan wants a reading, and we've got time for a quick reading. If you're doing readings, may I have one? Any kind of reading, having some trouble letting go. So this is going to be a reading for everybody here because I think we're all going through that right now, that releasing.
Right. It's part of what the earth, I know we talked about this being Earth. I don't know what the title of this show was. What it was the title of
Oh,
the show?
earth energy.
Earth energy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's really appropriate because the earth is releasing and kind of purging. I was talking about that um, the other day, and I just kept seeing, and this is metaphorical, doesn't like a volcano just got erupting and releasing and letting go.
I feel like that too. I feel like we're in a pressure cooker right now, with everything that's changing and the planets, and not just that, the chaos and the all over the world as far as politically, and then add to that Mother Earth already being in 5D and her changes that she's going through. So it is just everything coming up. Okay. Are you ready or you want me to go?
No, go ahead.
Okay. So I'm getting new love, Susan, and everyone here. So remembering and zeroing in, these cherubs have their little arrows. So looking at what is really important to the authentic you. Like sometimes we think, well, I really want this. And then when you look at it, like you're not quite getting it, right? Universe isn't quite giving it to you, even though you made that intention. So looking at what's behind that intention, is that something that the inner you, your authentic self, really wants? Um, so kind of redefining what abundance is for all of us. And then, of course, our old friend, the bucket, the urn, surrender and release. So she's carrying this huge urn and it has a hole in it. Um, it's losing energy. It's too heavy. And she feels kind of trapped. Look at her. She's not looking very happy there. So we fill up things in our urn that don't belong to us all the time, right? We put everybody else's troubles in. It's like me when I was talking about when my dad and stepmom were home with caregivers, I was still worrying about them. So I wasn't releasing it and letting them be there so I could have a moment here. So being discriminating about what you need to do and what you're carrying. Are you carrying old things that happened 10 years ago? Because those things are coming back around, that energy, and kind of looking at them when they come back around for judgment and telling your ego, which mine is named Petunia, and telling Petunia, hey, Petunia, my high self star has that. Talk to her. Um, and then serenity. So that's the path to serenity, is letting go and look at her. She's tending her garden. She's in the garden of abundance. And this is where we're all headed, the serenity. If you're here now, this is your path. So really beautiful.
All right. So there's stress, anxiety, and some worry there. And this is the mice card with the Freebird Spirit deck. And then I have confused, unclear, again, worry, anxiety with the clouds. And then the whip, hard work, discipline, drama, effort, tension, cleanup. So with that, I think there's just kind of a lot going on internally. The first tarot card I threw was the Devil card, which to me just represents that all of this is within your ability to undo. You're kind of stuck in your own kind of not. You're having trouble. I mean, I can see it. You're having trouble letting go, but you really have the ability. You have free will to release it. It's just finding something that's going to help work for you. But you're having trouble having that celebration or celebrating or connecting with social groups and doing fun things and then being victorious, which you will be victorious. I'm getting that will be, this is the Six of Wands. You will be victorious. And I'm seeing yellow flowers. I'm seeing, so right now, if you can bring more yellow energy into your life, if you can step into your creative power, bring in some yellow flowers, because I'm seeing on this card yellow flowers, and start writing. Do something called morning pages. If you're not familiar with that, maybe you can Google it, morning pages. But in essence, and I'm going to oversimplify it, there's a little more to the practice than that. Upon awakening, just write down all your thoughts, like pages of thoughts, get it out there, just release it. And if you could start creating a little time to schedule or for yourself to do automatic writing, just start writing. Even if you don't like to write, just write whatever comes to mind, and then just stop and walk away from it. Don't analyze it. Don't try to overlook it. So those are some of the things that I'm getting, is to write some of this stuff out, especially first thing in the morning. Whatever's on your mind, just get it out there. So I don't know. Hopefully that's helpful.
That's great. That's great.
But that'll help you to release a bit.
Yeah. Thanks for asking that, Susan, because that's, I need to listen to that too. The other day I was out driving and all these thoughts came into my head of judgment, and which a lot of times when I'm driving, I think about, I think about my late husband, I think about situations, they all come in and I'm like, I just have to call her out, Petunia, and say, you need to have a conversation with your higher self, my friend. So, yeah, Teresa Ford says she's glad that she's recovered from that stressful time, but it really is stressful, isn't it, Teresa? Yeah. Yeah. Anytime you ask people for help, they would just praise and offer prayers, right? Yep. And it is like us humans, because of free will, what are humans going to do? It is such a great opportunity right now, even though it may not look like it. It is, isn't it? Yeah. And do you have time for one more reading? Beth has a nice one. And then we'll just do this one if that's okay. Can I please have a reading? One day I realized I was love, and then had a few experiences that were amazing. I felt stuck, not allowing my true essence in. I love this question. This is so good for all of us too, Beth. And this will be the last one. But when you have that, like energy is coming in now, not at the speed of light, but at the speed of love. And as it comes in, we open our hearts up to it, but we're still on the physical plane. I mean, we're still here with all these 3D things going on, right? Going to the bank, getting in your car, working, whatever it is. There's still all these things, and doing them always in the state of love. That's a ninja move that very few do. Maybe the Dalai Lama a lot, but not every minute still, So yeah, let's go ahead and read on that.
Well, I got a hit when I read it, and one of it, I feel like there's your self-esteem is maybe not where it once was, or lack of self-confidence. And I don't mean it's completely just worn down, but I saw yellow again. Yellow came in, but the confidence and the self-esteem is boosting that, and knowing your worth in gold, knowing that you're worthy and worth. That's what just came to me off the top of my head, but I'll throw some cards with you too.
So I'm getting balance, and that's such a Virgo Libra thing right now, isn't it? So balancing, yeah. And that ball, she's not really looking at it, right? She's holding it. She's trying to figure it out, but she's not really looking at the balance, or they are not. So just feeling your balance as you're going on, and forgiveness. So this angel is just sitting and relaxing, and she's not worried about things. So take some time to be kind to yourself. Again, spirit does not judge. you are always walking in love. It's just the 3D that judges. So it's just when we're on this side of the veil that we are judged, and we judge ourselves always the most harshly than we judge anyone else. So that inner voice, give her a name if you want to, because you've got enchantment. You've got that love. That love is always there. You're never without that enchantment of love in your true essence. And so just calling it in every morning, growing your heart space, Beth, if you can, your heart chakra, 75 feet out the front and 75 feet out the back every morning, and feeling that beautiful green light. Just fill up your room with it, fill up your house with it. If you want, you can fill the entire earth with it. Love and kindness, and then coming back to yourself.
I got that you're coming into your karmic destiny. I have the Wheel of Fortune card here.
Nice.
But here, the challenge appears to be, and it's interesting because I'm going to say this in a minute, is just kind of doing things in a more traditional way. But the cross jumped out at me, and I threw another card from another deck, and I got a cross. So it's like having that faith, knowing again that you're worthy and you have the ability and confidence to do this. But then I have the Page of Swords, and I'm going to go again with swords being balanced, swords being that air card, the month of September, Libra. I guess, well, it's not really Virgo, but so balancing, knowing your self-worth, doing things to affirmations to help you know that to be the truth for you, allowing your true essence to shine through, having faith, because I got the cross, that you're on a path. You may just need to wiggle, like straighten the path out a bit. You might need to just take a little different path, because I got the transformation card. So yesterday doesn't fit you anymore. So if you're trying to do things, I got that Emperor card that likes to do things in a traditional way and building it on a solid foundation. Whatever you were doing yesterday is just not going to work for you anymore. But I do have, I got the ring card. So I got a karmic cycle, which matches up with the Wheel of Fortune card coming in your karmic destiny. So yeah, try to find more balance in what you're doing, and knowing that you have the ability and free will to step into that power to really shine in this next phase of your life that you'll be going through.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. So Alice, we're so sorry for your loss. Her dad passed on the 5th.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, sorry to hear that, dear. So everybody, thank you for being here. And Our Light Sees Your Light. Have a great weekend. We've got Sheila tomorrow, Inquisitive Tarot, on the channel. And Kandi, what do you have coming up? Are you doing anything fun
for the weekend?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a time of saying yes. Something landed into my lap, and I'm actually doing readings at this crystal store.
Oh, I'm so excited. I'm so excited.
Yeah. I never thought I'd ever do that, but I'm going to do it. And I've done it. I went yesterday, and I've done a couple in August. So I'm going to do it for a little while and see how it goes, but it's been fun.
Good for you. That's amazing. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, love you all. Thank you, Alice. We are surrounding you in the Earth Mother's blue veil of serenity today. So, and everybody gets a blue veil of serenity today. We'll all take it, right? Lots of love. Namaste, everybody.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Terry.
Thank you.